What is pathology? Today we will discuss what is pathology as a branch and its sub-branches. Pathology is a branch of medical science primarily concerning the cause, origin and nature of the disease. It involves the examination of tissues, organs, bodily fluids and autopsies in order to study and diagnose disease. Current pathology can be divided into 8 main areas depending on the types of methods used or the types of diseases examined. These different disciplines are described below. General pathology. General pathology describes a complex and broad field that involves the study of the mechanisms behind cell and tissue injury and understanding how the body responds to and repairs injury. Examples of areas that may be studied include necrosis, neoplasia, wound healing, inflammation, and how cells adapt to injury. These key fields cover areas of pathology but at a less specialist level. A person working in general pathology will be trained in the areas of laboratory analysis such as hematology, clinical chemistry. Anatomical pathology is a field concerned with the study and diagnosis of illness through microscopic analysis of samples from bodily fluids, tissue, organs, and sometimes the entire body or autopsy. Factors that may be examined include the cell appearance, anatomical makeup, and chemical signatures within the cell. This discipline includes histology, cytology, forensic pathology. Histology is the bodily tissues, samples, and organs are prepared and examined in order to detect and diagnose the disease. Cytology are the bodily fluids and tissues are examined at the cellular level in order to screen for and diagnose disease. Forensic pathology is the examination of an autopsy in order to discover the cause of death. The external appearance is first assessed to check for evidence of wound or suffocation. Clinical pathology. What is this clinical pathology? Also referred to as laboratory medicine. Clinical pathology concerns the analysis of blood, urine, tests, and tissue samples to examine and diagnose disease. Examples of the information clinical pathology laboratories may provide include blood count, blood clotting, and electrolyte results. A clinical pathologist is usually trained in microbiology, hematology, or blood banking, but not at the some expertise. Now, the subject-wise chemical pathology or biochemistry. Biochemical chemical pathology examine all aspects of disease, identifying changes in various different subjects found in the blood and bodily fluids such as proteins, hormones, electrolytes, since these changes can indicate and provide clues about disease or disease risk. Genetics, it includes cytogenetics, biochemical and genetics, and molecular genetics. Cytogenetics analyzes chromosomal abnormalities at the microscopic level. Biochemical genetics is search for specific disease markers using biochemical techniques. Molecular genetics, gene mutations are searched for and analyzed using DNA technology. Genetics involve performing tests on chromosomes, biochemical markers, DNA taken from bodily fluids and tissues in order to detect genetic illness. Hematology. What is hematology? It is concerned with various different diseases that affect the blood, including bleeding disorders, clotting problems, anemia. Another area of hematology is transfusion medicine, which includes performing blood typing, cross-matching for compatibility, managing large amounts of blood products. An example of a test a hematologist may perform is a blood clotting test to check whether the patient's dose of warfarin needs increasing or decreasing. The other field is immunology. It is as the subject of pathology. Immunologists perform immune function tests, and it is also arises as a result of the immune system having an abnormal reaction to healthy cells or tissues, launching an immune attack against them. Autoimmune diseases. Microbiology is concerned with the diseases caused by pathogenic agents like bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi. Samples of blood and bodily fluid and tissues are tested to establish whether infection exists. And the field of medical microbiology is also engaged with identifying new species of microorganisms. Other areas encompassed by microbiology include control of the infections like parasitic infections, bacterial infections, and viral infections, outbreaks, and researching the problems resulting from bacterial antibiotic resistance. One of the principal roles of microbiologists is to make sure that antimicrobial drugs are prescribed and used appropriately. All these are considered to be the sub-subjects of the pathology subject, and micro lab technologists have to do work in all of these sub-subjects, subcategories.